So yesterday, my boyfriend and I went to Busch Gardens, which is an amusement park near where we live. It's like an hour away. We were there from open till close, and we were like hardcore doing things the whole time. Like we never took a break really to like chill or get food. We were just kind of like, let's ride everything. And then when we rode everything, we were like, let's ride everything twice. And we didn't ride everything twice, but we rode like a number of things twice, and we were just like running around the entire park, and oh, so tired. Like we were there for they're open for like 11 hours plus like the hour drive, and it was a lot. It was so much. We basically just like came home and crashed last night for about 13 hours, I think it was, and I'm still feeling quite beat up. It was very fun though. I haven't been to an amusement park in a long time. So the fact that we went and like rode a bunch of roller coasters and rode scary things, because he was like, let's ride this roller coaster with a 90-degree drop that just like hangs you over the edge for like 5 seconds before you drop. So like that was a lot. We rode like a drop tower, which I hated, but he wanted to, so I rode it with him. And it was the whole thing was just like kind of a lot. Like not bad, just I feel so tired and beat up today. Um but it was so much fun. I am very behind on my reading and booktube stuff because of that, so today's just gonna be like very, very chill. I don't know how much reading I'm gonna get done because I'm reading 4 things right now, technically. 3 of them are, well, I'm reading 5 things actually. I forgot about Anyara. But like, of the 5 things I'm reading, 4 of them are very heavy, and I just need to like read them regularly every day so I can get done with them. And then the 5th thing is like one of my old favorites, so like that's fun. But it feels like a lot. So today's probably gonna be mostly like a booktube day and a chill day, and try to recover from the trauma I put myself through yesterday. But it was so much fun. Like, I know he had a wonderful time, and it was just like chill to like just go and be like ecstatically happy for the entire time. But yeah, it was also a lot. But yeah, I'm like 4 or 5 days behind on booktube again, which is great. I love consistently being behind and just like barely not catching up and then getting behind again. So today is going to be a booktube watching day, and then hopefully a little bit of reading to go along with that.
My boyfriend got me a Slurpee, and it's tasty. It's cherry. Slurpees make me happy, and they're super tasty, and I love them. But I also wanted to film just to say that I did pick up Ribbons by Lawrence Yep. I do like this cover. I just think it's like a really nice looking cover, and I love this book. I'm gonna cry so hard. Like, I can't read it yet. The middle grade magic readathon starts on the 14th, and today is like the 10th, I think. So can't read it yet, but in a few days. I really need to get through like all the books I'm currently reading now, which are very heavy and difficult. But it will be nice to be able to pick this up, because like literally I'm reading 5 things right now, and 2 of them are World War One nonfiction. One of them is short stories from James Joyce, and one of them is a 1950s science fiction poem. It was translated from Swedish very badly. And the 5th is the President's Daughter series, which is like really good. I love it. I'm enjoying all of those actually to a degree, but they're all like kind of a lot. And this is like a very short, nice middle grade novel that I know I'm going to love, but it's also not like too much, and it's not going to be overwhelming. It's being nice just to like sit down and like relax into this very short, very lovely little book that I know is going to make me like sad and cry, yet also like happy. So looking forward to this. I highly recommend. It's an older middle grade. It's from like 96, but it's so wonderful. So we are a week into the Step Right Up-a-thon, and I'm not doing fantastic with that. I've finished 0 books for it so far, and I'm like not decently into any of the books, so that's fun. We have another week left, so hopefully it'll be okay. I finished Dead Wake. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier. I've been like bad at vlogging lately and just like tired and whatever. But I finished Dead Wake, which I was buddy reading with cozy reader Kelly, and that was good. I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed that more than The Devil in the White City, but she enjoyed it less. So I don't know. But I am glad that I've read like 2 of Eric Larson's books, because now I feel bad about. Now I don't feel as bad about owning like 4 of them. I also have been making progress on Betrayal at Little Gibraltar, which is due in 4 days, so I'm not been making enough progress on that, but some. And not really been making much progress on Dubliners, just because Dubliners is kind of like a lot. Yeah, it's just a lot. There's nothing more to say there. Started The President's Daughter. Have not really made much great progress on that. So, wonderful. That one's really good, but like unlike the other ones, I'm just like thoroughly immersed and enjoying myself, and it's easy. It's just that it's like too good, and I don't want to like stop reading it. So, because I don't want to stop reading it, I'm just not reading it so I don't have to stop, which is not very logical, but whatever. I did Middle Grade Magic, started yesterday, and I did make progress for that because that's significantly easier. My TBR for that is much lighter. I read First Test by Tamara Pierce. I basically just sat down and read it in one sitting because I was like, oh, I want to read it, and I did. It was wonderful. It was better than I remember. It was great. Like, Kel, the main character, is a girl who wants to be a knight, and it's legal now, but just because it's legal doesn't mean that, like, society is like, this is a chill thing to do. So she's dealing with a lot of, like, hate from that. And instead of just being like, okay, well, I'm gonna make myself small and, like, pretend I'm not here and, like, kind of try to fit in as best as possible, she's like, screw that. I'm gonna wear a dress whenever I can. Like, whenever possible, I'm gonna wear a dress. And it's just, like, glorious. But yeah, thoroughly enjoying that. I'll probably start Page later today after I do some of my reading for Betrayal at Little Gibraltar and Dubliners. But that's wonderful. It's a wonderful series. That might be like my new favorite series in the Tortell universe, just because like so far there are significantly fewer like problematic things just based on like societal, like this first book was published in 99, whereas like the Alana series was published in the mid 80s. So like there's a fairly decent difference there. But yeah, I'm thoroughly enjoying it. And yeah, Step Right Up Athon, not going quite as well, but hopefully I can still like finish up a few things and get through my TBR for that. Library trip, again, probably a good one. I'm not planning to get anything, but like, y'all know me. I'm returning 2 things because one of them is due today. The first is the Serpent King, which is not actually due today, and I could keep this to the end of the month like I normally do, and then return it after I film my wrap-up so that I don't have to like edit in an image. But the library is further away now than it used to be, and I kind of don't feel like making like a 40-minute round trip to go to the library just to return this when I could do it now. So this is going back. I already have the review on it up, and I will link that down below probably, unless I'm lazy, but like definitely check that out because I enjoyed that book. And the one I'm actually really stoked on is Betrayal at Little Gibraltar by William Walker, which is due today. And I finished this at like 2 o'clock in the morning last night, and I was so happy. I did not rate this, not because it was bad. It was just one of those books that was like very not for me, and I went in knowing it wasn't for me, but I went in specifically to gain something. Like, it's not with fiction where if it's not for me, I can like either like enjoy it because it's so good or like not because I don't think it's good. This was nonfiction. Like, I picked it up specifically to learn something, and I did, so I am happy about that. Even if like, did I enjoy it? No. Did I gain a lot from it? Yes. And that was honestly what I was trying to do with this book and push myself out of my comfort zone. So I'm rating that a success, even if this book was like kind of a slog for me. But very, very worthwhile. So I am glad that I got all the way through this. So I did a bad thing when I was at the library. Instead of just walking in and ditching my books and then leaving, pardon the white balance, it is much too bright by this window, but whatever. Instead of just leaving my books and walking out, I got a bag of books. Yeah, I didn't need to, but I did. So I got 4, which was about 4 too many, but we'll see. The first is, this is not gonna work at all. Love, Hate, and Other Filters by, what's her name? Samira Ahmed. I know this has been making the rounds of BookTube a little bit. It sounded good. Like, I've heard a number of people mention this, and it always sounded good. And I've been, like, actively trying to pick up a few books by authors of color, because a lot of what I read is very white, so gonna give this a go. Hopefully it's good, and I don't know. It's always good for me to have, like, a little bit of YA, just that I can fall back on, because YA is kind of my comfort zone. If you can hear slurping, I'm sorry. It's just, like, my cat is just drinking out of my water, and I can't even, like, I'm not fighting it anymore. But yeah, I've heard good things, so hopefully I enjoy this, but I don't know. It's like very quick, so even if I don't, like, no biggie. And I got The Woman Warrior by Maxine Hong Kingston. It's a nonfiction book. It's a memoir of her time growing up as a Chinese immigrant in California, or at the very least her parents were Chinese immigrants and she was first generation. I'm not sure. I almost didn't pick it up because it sounded very interesting, but I read like the first few lines and I was like, I don't know. But hopefully it's good. Hopefully, like, the writing style is very odd. It seems kind of overwritten, which is strange to say. Like, I've only read the first page. I don't know. But it did, like, I was, like, unsure of the writing style, but it seemed like an interesting story. She had an interesting life, and I don't know. I was interested in, and again, it's, like, pretty short, so even if I don't like it, no biggie. The Gilded Razor, which is a memoir by Sam Lansky, which is basically a rich white boy who got addicted to prescription drugs, and the end, I don't know, this is his memoir about being addicted to prescription drugs, which sounds like sad white boy things, but also potentially very interesting. It's basically like, it feels like it's going to be non-fiction YA, essentially. Like, this could be a YA novel, but it was just in the non-fiction section, and I kind of grabbed it, and we'll see how it is. I'm willing to give it a shot, and it looked interesting, and his writing style seemed very, like, I don't want to say ordinary, that sounds bad, but just, like, kind of basic, kind of like, I won't think about it as I'm reading it, and it'll probably go by pretty fast, I'm thinking. At that point, I was, like, all ready to just walk out. I was like, you know, I got 3 books, that was 3 too many, I should just leave. And I did. And I was walking out. And then there was a book on a shelf that was facing me. And I was just like, ooh, I need that particular book. And that is Shadow Tag by Louise Erdrich. Bookish has talked about her several times recently. Where is that? There it is. He's talked about her several times, and there's a man at the window. That's concerning. Male man. But Bookish has talked about her several times, and I think the last time he talked about her, I was like, okay, I need to add her to my TBR. And I wasn't really planning to pick her up anytime soon. I have a long TBR. But I was like, okay, I'm gonna pick her up sometime. And this book was just, like, facing out on the library shelf, and I was like, this is a sign. Like, I can't just not grab it. But here we are. I have no idea what this one is about. I'd actually been planning on, like, looking her up and, like, kind of seeing what her most highly rated works were. Like, I think Brian likes all of her books, so I'm not, like, too concerned. But yeah, I was planning on actually doing research instead of just grabbing a random book, but, like, it was staring at me from the shelf. You must be hydrated by now. You drank, like, most of my water. But yeah, I don't know, I couldn't say no. Like, it was just staring at me, and it was just like, oh, I just, like, told him, like, 2 days ago that I was gonna read one of her books, and now I have it. But I don't know, it's apparently about, like, a bad marriage, which is interesting, and it seems, like, contemporary, and it seems, like, not thriller. I don't want to say thriller, it's not a thriller, but it does seem like it's, like, on the thriller end of drama. Like, not, like, a thriller novel, but it's sort of, like, a drama in the style that, like, if you threw on a different ending, it could almost be a thriller, kind of. But it seems fascinating. It has deckled edges, which is annoying. I almost didn't grab it just for that. But it's short. All of these are fairly short. All these are actually real short. So hopefully they go by fast and I have time to read them, because I was trying not to get any more library books. It's just, like, I can't resist. Like, I have a problem. And especially when I'm at my boyfriend's and I have, like, a limited number of books here to read. Most of my books are at my parents', so I don't know. This looks good. All these books look good. I have a problem. I don't know what to do. So I wanted to film a quick wrap up for the Step Right Up-a-thon since it does end tonight. This probably would be better coming tomorrow, but I'm posting this vlog tonight, so I really don't care. This is happening right now. It's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I finished 2 of the 5 books on my TBR for Step Right Up-a-thon. I finished, the first was Betrayal at Little Gibraltar, which was like honestly the most important thing I wanted to finish, and it took me a very long time and a very lot of effort, so like that's kind of why I didn't get through everything else. The second thing that I finished was Squire by Tamara Pierce, which is the 3rd book in the Protector of the Small series. I enjoyed both of those, glad I read them, and I feel accomplished for that, even if I didn't get through even half of these, honestly. The only ones I didn't finish were Dubliners by James Joyce. I'm about halfway through that. It was taking me too long, and I'm gonna keep reading it like at the same pace, which is fine. And then I also didn't get through The President's Daughter by, I was about to say Tamora Pierce, by Helen Emerson White. I'm like a little bit into this book. It's just, I think I mentioned this earlier, it's like too good. Like I don't want to finish it, so I'm not reading it, because if I read it then I'll finish it. And I just like don't want to finish it because I love it so much. But like I will, I promise. And then last night I started Lady Night by Tamara Pierce, which is the 4th book, and this is the one that like I might potentially finish tonight. I'm about halfway through, and it honestly doesn't take that long to finish these. It's just depending on whether I like sit down and read a bunch tonight. I may or may not. I don't know. I've just been feeling super tired today, so that's kind of why I'm filming this update now. And yeah, that's it for the Step Right Up-a-thon. Middle Grade Magic, I'm still doing. It finishes in 3 days, and I've read 2 of the 3 books for that. I wanted to read the first 2 books in the Protector of the Small Quartet, which obviously I have read, considering I'm on the 4th one right now. And then the 3rd one is Ribbons by Lawrence Yep, which will honestly take me like an hour and a half, 2 hours maybe, to sit down and read. So not concerned about that in the slightest. I will definitely get that done in the next few days.